Hi, this is Jeannie with Creative Ectothermic Solutions. You can find us online at CEctoS.com or at bugblog.org or on Facebook. Just look up CEctoS and you should find us. And of course you can find us on YouTube. Today I am going to mend a tank and I'm going to set it up. But I'm going to do a video of mending it first because there's a lot of broken tanks out there that need to be fixed that people just are not sure how to do it. So let's see if we can do it. This is a simple fix. I don't take the tanks apart and redo them. Well, sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. So let's just do this simple fix and you shall see. This tank is very dirty and I need to clean it up. I'm going to use alcohol spray. This is 91% alcohol. It cleans it up well and it all evaporates so it doesn't leave any residue in or on this tank to hurt your invert. It's amazing how many times people use cleaning products that just aren't good for their invertebrates and it ends up being very, very bad. Now this is our repair side. I have sprayed it with alcohol. It had tape on the bottom and I took it off as best as I could, but we will come back to this part. I just need to clean it really, really well. It's got some more residue here, but I have a razor blade that I'm going to use to scrape it off because it will repair best if it is as clean as possible. So that takes this off. A lot of times these tanks do get cracked on the bottoms and on the sides. I don't mind mending cracks like this. If the cracks are all the way split out, it takes a lot more to mend them. You can prise the silicone out of the corners and separate it, and replace the glass, which is one way to do it. The other way I do it sometimes is I'll take a plexiglass and I will cut it to size and I will glue it on the inside to the part of the tank that has the glass on it and just leave the glass in place. This protects the animal on the inside, but it doesn't protect the human on the outside. So you have to be really, really careful and not touch the glass, because even though, you know, it's being held together, it will still cut you badly. I'm just taking the dirt off the outside and then I will clean the inside because the inside has to be just as clean as the outside. This tank it's pretty dirty, but it's not as dirty as some of them I've cleaned. I mean, after you have a reptile or a spider or whatever, even fish, in here for a long time, these tanks end up really, really dirty. You can see how dirty my paper towel is, and this, like I said, this tank isn't even that dirty. So I'm gonna just finish cleaning this up. I have no idea what was kept in this tank, but let me tell you, it was dirty. I could take it to a water source. I could, you know, try and use the sink or the hose outside to clean this up really, really well. But with this crack in the bottom, I'm kind of afraid to, which is why I'm cleaning it the way I am. And once again, will leave no residue behind that will hurt my animals. Although, if you use dish soap, that won't leave any residue either. So I have all of this inside done again. There's a little bit of substrate left on the inside, but I'm not really worried about that. I think I've gotten the glass as clean as I can. Alcohol does do a beautiful job of cleaning glass, but this glass is really, really dirty. And the top of this tank is chewed up, but that's okay. We'll use it anyway. It won't hurt what we're gonna use it for. This is the silicone in these corners. You can literally pry the silicone out and take the tank apart and then re-silicone it. If you had fish and you had a leak, that would pretty much be the only way to really clean this tank. But we're not going to put fish in it. We're going to put we're going to turn it into a terrarium or a vivarium, whichever one you want to call it. And we're going to make it beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate on getting this bottom as absolutely clean as possible because this is where I need to mend. See the crack right here? I'm trying to I'm trying to clean here without busting the crack apart. I took the tape off the bottom of it and removed as much of the residue as I could. I still have tape residue that I can see, but I don't want to cut myself, and it shouldn't really matter that much. Okay, so I think my crack is clean. I can feel it here, but it's really not so bad. It's a pretty big crack. I'm going to check out the bottom. I think I will mend it on the bottom first. Where you can see the tape residue is actually down in the crack. The crack. Wow. Where you can still see the tape residue is actually down inside where it's chipped right next to the crack. But like I said, it really shouldn't matter. We want to get this clean. And we want to get it dry. And alcohol will do both. And alcohol evaporates rather quickly, so it gets nice and clean and dry, and it's an optimum way to do it. The way I mend these cracks is I use hot glue. I use hot glue and a paint scraper. So I'm going to take this here paint scraper, it's right here. I'm going to take the hot glue and I'm going to run it along this crack. And hot glue cools rather rapidly, so we want to do this in sections. And I'm just going to use the paint scraper, and I'm going to pull it out. And all that does is it gets it nice and far down in that crack and seals it up without, I mean, it's not the prettiest thing, but it's on the bottom and it's going to be full of, and this tank is going to have substrate in it. This will make the tank waterproof again. Hot glue is hypoallergenic. It doesn't leave residue that's going to hurt your spider like epoxy might. All it is melted glue, so it's pretty easy to deal with. As you can see, the tank is cold and the scraper is cold, so it's really cooling the glue fast, but that's okay. So now I've taken my glue and there it is. I've filled in the cracks, and it should be safe for my fingers now. I should not be able to cut myself, and I can't. Some of this stuff will just come right off these wispy bits, which is where I pulled away, but this is a mended crack. Like I said, it's not really pretty, but this is going to be underneath where you can't see it. Now I'm also going to do the same thing in here. I can feel where it's sharp, and I don't want it to cut me, so if I happen to have my hand in here, I don't want to accidentally get cut by this. So I'm just pushing this down into the crack, and then we're going to keep doing it. The crack is the absolute worst right here. So I'm going to put lots and lots of glue in here. And there it is. Yeah, this is working really, really well. I do this pretty often. Don't do it all the time because I mean, if the tank was cracked really badly, I would probably just buy a new tank. But I don't like to throw this stuff away, so if it's an easy repair, I will do it. Taking it apart and redoing the silicone is kind of beyond me. It would take way too long, and I would have way too much time invested in it, because you can buy like a new 10-gallon tank from the big pet stores on their $1 a gallon sale for $10, and I have to consider, you know, after I spend $6 on silicone and I spend 4 hours, you know, cleaning this up and fixing it, is it worth the effort I have put into it? And the answer is probably no. So I will mend this one because it's easy. So all I do with this scraper is I push this down and I pull it across so that it doesn't end up lumpy, and when I push it down, it literally goes down into the crack, and then I have a layer of stuff over the crack, so this is no longer going to cut me. So thank you. This is Jeannie with Creative Ectothermic Solutions. You can find us online at CEctoS.com or at bugblog.org. And if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also on Facebook. Just look up CEctoS, CEctoS. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Thank you.